there's a new prayer gesture I would like us to have, which is passing on. Sure. Isn't it?
Which table? Thank you.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's good. Old singing or new singing?
Yes.
New singing? You have to do that, I can't remember.
First we have to go is mandala. Then last Thursday we practice new singing, okay? Then after it's three refuge.
You start because I can't remember.
Okay. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Then last Thursday we talked about just every daily practice this thinking, or daily practice thinking. Then morning to evening, how can things how can you think? That time we talked to is when you get up morning, then you think when advice to holiness. Yeah, this I think everyone is new. Right? Then after that you cleaning your home, then you think this is a temple. Then this is that shogun awo shangsan ni ani susu kita kisan ma nye ni da and things that language with give us some ways and it is dictionary gavare then the chairs and then that dino with the society lama data ta kunju simje kadila tene tene chumbare and tene je gomba shiro se di la shubare di shene society khangba tsamma sobe kawla tanda kasa tab tanda bi that sende tabda tingi do kanjana lui kasa lui cham kasa kasa deux pang tima bon de shene ji di chavala tene ya di patawe ni le kala sungyo di le doa sino di le je samlatan be kala susu desa ye sha di ani hagan ye duje shane lo hagan ye duje shane o di le je cheto wa ina ani di che mo di le je chero che se ni lo.
Last week we talked about how to really start our day, including the very first time when we get up, what to think, how to cultivate the proper motivation. And basically, when we awake, the first thing we really remember is that this is such a precious life. How lucky that I'm able to awake and have this day with me today. And then you start thinking the reason I'm healthy, I'm able to fully be alert, conscious, and so on, thanks to the three jewels, being very gracious and grateful toward the object of the refuge, and thinking how kind they are really to assist me being fully awake, and so on. So that's the second thinking that we established. And then when we start tidying up our rooms and cleaning up our house and so on, if you have the habit of doing that in the morning, and we can imagine that our room and our house is our temple. You can consider it a sacred place. And so not thinking that I'm cleaning my room, but thinking I'm cleaning, any holy sacred place, temple. And by doing that, it has so many benefit for you. And then, as mentioned in the scripture, in the sutras, when you tidying up and cleaning dust, and you really think the dust is the afflictions, the self-grasping mind, and by cleaning that, you're really purifying yourself. You do not, think as you're cleaning dirt or cleaning germ, but rather thinking that the dirt, the dust that you have or you accumulate in your place is rather afflictions, ignorance, and so on. And by cleaning the room, thinking that I'm purifying my mind, mental faculty. And this is taught in great detail in the sutra.
Today so dani someone says and then so tree kembe kabla ya tene ani tanda ye chu de temo so dombala addition so yiti ba taso mo samne ta chuso chigi samne o de leges samlo tama ya ko yo sare se ni ma ande so tree kyo sane tene annam jine so yeta so sa de chi tunda ani chobo pyo ye je pyo ta pyo to ro ye je pyo ta yala gedengi chusine samloji tang ani chome pyo kala ta mishibi mbachana ta sesun chinero sange dubela ta mishibi gyutamje pangwa sangwa yinza misheba ta chomegi ta wedi ta zabuli je simje tamje yida mishibi onye ta kaisa tamati wo mambo chede wa yinza ta desha samsu samne gomba she dang ani pyo kabla ani ta ngone ta sosobita mazo on tukpyo sinita ta suyina ta 지금 수중지 정말 짱마요도 수있는 가기로 와라 하이나 미이나 집바인자다 누구도 표현도 뭐는 되었다 지심 뼈기 되고 변들이야 쓰면서 지 망보야 되셔야 팀만 그냥야 표기였습니다 그저도 표기 대라되는 거 손을 뻗으면 사슴은 어디는지 뭔가 실루치 있습니다.
And so after cleaning your room and the houses, then we usually have a shower or a bath and so on, and basically thinking that the waters are purifying your negative deeds, purifying your afflictions and so on. Thinking that way, and sometimes you can also imagine your offering what you call the water purification. Sometimes we do offer, like the bath to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and you can use the same concept when you are having a shower, and this is very useful. And having done that, and then the next thing is like making offerings, and we say accumulating merits and purifying negative deeds. So as part of the accumulating merits, we do make offerings, and when you do so, and for example, when you offer lamp or light, and you imagine that this light, like the lamp, which is really brightening the darkness or illuminating the darkness, that this lamp is illuminating our the ignorance, our unknowing part of the mind, our what you call these delusions. So we imagine the light is really lightening our mind and awakening our mind when you make the lamp offering. And the same way as when you are offering scent incense, and you because everyone likes a good smell, and so we imagine this a smell, a pure smell coming out of our observation of the precepts. So they call it a smile of the precept, meaning because our contact has been so pure, and that smell we making in form of offering to please the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And by doing this kind of activities, it's generates enormous merit, even this one session in the morning. And so as a practitioner, we always say we have to accumulate merit, we have to purify our negative deeds. So these making offerings and what we talked about, the having showers or purifying our mind and making offerings, is basically the essence of what we talk about, the purifying our the deeds, at the same time generating or accumulating a lot of merits or collecting a lot of merits.
But in the future, we should learn 야 차우승 세대 계신 분이 있어요. 그래서 나하고 차우승 보다 차우승 차 세배가 올라다 맞소다 지난해 차야 세단들라 나와야 강하다 지리 제니 제숨 시치 가시게 숨마도 마시니 다들 개발도 요사마 옛날에 시치와라 거가 요새 망할 있어요. 그래서 다 시치에 대해서다 마치 라마이 동 상계 창사 보호공도 지윤데 다 라마디 계셔지 가래 있는 다 람집자와 람구금백가로라 아니 람집자와 신기 댄술치는 담보고로 숨고바이자 소소라다 윤대 가래 중바인바이나 라마를 때니 중바인다 라마디 담보 지고에 김제티 있어요. 상계자 첨부에 있나야다 상계의 직전도 되는 것도 제일 말이 있나야 라마디 상계 탐지 뒤에 뭐 선배 된다라다 근데 담보 라마를 계속 줘야 된다 돼 있어요. 뒤에서 소소라다 까카네 마타 예상이 있고 마토 퍼도다 람기다 클로다 람 차시다와 땡이 됐다 로전 난게니 땡이데 라마 인사 라마데 담보다 차츠가 발라 담보 라마 체케네 상게체 안추 긴디 다 시치고 있던데 디스레 센터 아디 디디주 공부하자 디 제베 깔라테네 소소다 디데 제베가 르기 디코디 가즈에 디상도다 디 제베가 나기 디고 상도다 아니 마 제베가 얘기 디고 상도다 아니 소소 치고자 많이 봐 아니 대단 대신 소소도 소소 잡겠다 르마이 숨기 디고 니마징가다 르마이 숨기 디고 상이 가즈도 가즈에 대차가 나라님도다 디샤 지지에 상했다 교바이키네 디데 제베가 디 표현 거도 살에 쓰네.
After we have done our offerings, and then we offer prostration. And there are three, when we do the prostration, we look at the mudra. And some people do 3 mudras, as you can see, or others do 4 mudras. And each has a different significances. And why we're doing 4? One is, as kind of symbolic for making offering of prostration to your guru. The first one, guru, and second one's to the Buddha, and third one's to the Dharma, and the fourth one's to the Sangha. So we have a guru, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. These 4 objects of prostration, and that's where some people you see like 4 mudras before they bow. And sometimes people wonder why Guru first, not Buddha. And this is because for our Tibetan tradition, we consider Guru is kind of Guru represent all the quality of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So that's the reason why you have the Gurus first. The second reason is through the kindness of your Guru, you're able to encounter all the other qualities of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. We are not able to see Buddha himself, but through our Guru, we're able to almost like enjoy all the good quality of Buddha and Bodhisattvas. And Guru is the medium between us and the Buddha. That's where we say Guru is very important. And the Guru represents all the nature, the nature of all the good quality of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And so that's where we have the Buddhas first. And when we do the prostration, and if we not only think about our wrongdoings, misdeeds and so on, but also thinking all the wrongdoings, intentional and unintentional, of all the sentient beings. And thinking of all the wrongdoings of all sentient beings, and then with a strong regret and a revulsion, if we do the prostration and try to get a confession, that has an enormous benefit, just not for ourselves, but for everyone.
Lama la di chidang de sambe tenda na juyo tenda ni yu san taba gewu shena mangu shuyo da otine ji gomba she ani da soso gi mitse de da tayi ya shuyo lang de da milu za chimo yin ba samla milu khare chin de za chimo yin ro ishi yin no bole ha ko sum she o za chimo yin ba samla da za chimo yin na tela de ne kyapsang ji lembo de sin an tela yin bo lembo da kyapsang lembo na ta le gyum de yes samlo de ha ma go ba yin na le gewa chen na de dewa chungwa, le migewa chena, an dewa dungal chungwa di. Di hama gowa yana teni, kyasa mena suji lega mechewa inza, le gyumde diga tushi. Teni gyawa da migewa di, lando gini di sushindu, shewa kechungwa rewa, teni je samlo tang sani teni, teni mata, kibu chungde sungi lam yiringo mambo yoran, di chala ta, mazo, kyamru di chewa yana teni, dosu pendo yosari yasini rawa.
So what I'm talking about just now is more following the tradition of the Lamrim Chenmo, the great treatise on path to liberation by Lama Tsongkhapa, and I'm following that tradition and instruction when I talk about the daily activities. And so after you have done prostration, and then you take your seat, and having seated, you think about the qualities and the benefit of following your teacher, guru. really kind of the benefit of relying on teacher. And this is how you first think. By thinking about the benefit of having a teacher and thinking about their kindness, because it is a teacher who will really give you all the knowledge and the skills and so on. And then think about how you wanted to treat your spiritual teacher. This is both shaping your attitude, and also how you really actually treat your spiritual teacher. So this is the part of how you relate and treat your spiritual teacher. And then you think about how precious the next point, if you like, is how precious human life are. How rare that we are endowed with such a precious life. And thinking this is just like a wish-fulfilling gem, the life that we have, because we can pretty much do what we like. We can get a lot out of this precious human life if we use it properly. And thinking how rare such opportunity is in your future lifetimes. And then once you really get this strong understanding, in-depth understanding about how precious human life is, then thinking, what should I do with this? What shall I do with this precious life? And then here, thinking about how the best I could utilize this life to really fulfill a much longer term benefit. From this point, then you start thinking about the cause and effect, the karma, the concept of the karma, and by thinking, if I engage in negative deed, I will suffer. If I engage in a positive deed, I will gain. And thinking this kind of law of karma, how karma works, by engaging in a positive deed, you'll enjoy a further fruit, the benefit, good fruit. By engaging in negative karma, you also suffer more. And by thinking that way, it gives you a kind of a very good choices, and it gives you a kind of a good sense of how you should spend your life, this precious life. And then you start thinking also about in the Lamrim Chimo, it talks about the 3 scopes of the persons, like 3 different scopes of the person, the small scope, medium, and the great scope of individual capacity. And having reflected to this kind of preliminary practices, then you start thinking about the kamdru, the refuge, establish the concept of the refuge. And through going over these different stages of the path, and if you now start doing your refuge, then your refuge becomes very powerful and very effective.
겸도 최고의 중세 가르치는 것은 뭐에 디베트나 대중이 최초의 메시지 다 사실 뭐인 거 아니 인고 레버 되어가 렌젤의 이칭이야 다 sab주 숨바의 돈에 렌젤의 이칭이 뭐 가르치겠으나 맞아 최주벨라 치견다 나기기 이가 참고 됐으므로 다 레규문의 나기기에 아니 겸로디 치기에 말했으므로 근데 인다 가르치나 레규문의 시용디 레델라이다 이게 지천의 시간에 레시체 텔라테네다 아니 레 미디어와 텔라테네 지구 동을 총대는 것었다 땅이 소송이 동안도 뭔고지로 와서나 산일게 장일게 되나 아주라야 키위라야 추브르제라야다 이게 다 이라르나라 셰바나제다 장야대 뭔고시고 정말도 뭐 딘디비 직발에 저와데 술라 캡처고 그랬으나 다 캠니 군주스물로 마도 내가 코란다 이게 대다이 동안 대달리 졸내다 이게 다 탈비 고방 톱승이 강사인다다 콜라 껴만서나 다 샹달라 껴줘서 민도 세네 조금만서 다 치기 겸로 두고 뒤에서래 세네 맨날 가르에서는 고 충전질라 기념바에 소개 버시게 되나 고디 랑서보다 아말라기 소소 바바에나 아말라 껴줘 두고를 마도 샹달라 껴주고 민도 세네 대인사 아마디 소소 부위 껴줘 잡고 세네 대단 대신 직송이 무슨 예수님이 동날디다 땅예외 동안 다 이다기 동안 다 tun중이 동안 망고시고 이랬으니 산열 장열이 동안 망고시고 대단히 껴비 네버디 쏠어 이랬으나다 겸는 군주스모도 매와 인자 담아서 치견디 겸도 두고 이래 뒤에서 이랬으니
And so now we think about a refuge. We think about why we wanted to take refuge in 3Ju. And the reasons we already touched upon, including how precious human life is. But if we don't use it properly, it wastes so fast. It will go in waste so fast. And then by thinking the law of karma, cause and effect, and if we're not careful, it could easily be diminished with wonderful opportunity. By thinking these reasons, then we go into refuge. And when we do the refuge, the factor of refuge, we talk about external factor and the internal factor. And the internal factors, the one I just mentioned about the karma, the law of possession, and also how precious human life are, and so on. And then the external factors. The external factor for the refuge is it is kind of the Buddha and the Bodhisattvas, the 3 jewels, and so on. They're there as external factor for us to be saved. By taking refuge in Buddha, it's free us from this lower range, including the hell, the cold hell, and any these enormous sufferings in the lower range. We can avoid these sufferings by going to refuge to the 3 jewels. So we put external factor. The Buddha can really be a factor for our own salvation, if you like, from these lower range. And then one of the example is you are being attacked, or a child is being attacked by a mad dog, and the first reaction coming from the child is to really calling for help from his or her parents. That immediately come out of it. He has all the qualities, the internal factor, but also the external factor is he's asking for someone else's help. Like this one, when we are being attacked by our affliction and bad karma, so on, and the first thing we call for help is the Buddha and the 3 jewels. So that's what we mean by external factor.
다 군주스물 겹서 조이 김제 대장 많이 봐. 다 맞어 지단에 소소겠다. 최년 받은 남바상여가 제고에 예와 요 말이 있나야다. 소소겠다. 남바상여가 딱 된다 된바데 제기 삼로 요가 있나다. 겸내 군주스물 겹서 맞어봐 임바 남바상여가 추여 걸어요 말이 세네로. 이 겸조기 편시 남바상여가 수바 송샤야 봤으니 담보거라. 군주스물 겹서 조 편에 가르세나 남바상여 추기를 했으니까. 그나 고디 나로라 강바디 나로제라 고디를 20일 주고 도왔어요. 때 대신 아니 이게 뭐서 장주 셈발의 민토벨라 장주 있음 유라 마기는 장주 셈바스니 민토국민도 왔어요. 대나시 남바생이버 수발라 겸내 군주 숨라 타치도다 셈띵내다 레도 마세나 다 남바생이버 수민도 왔어요. 뭐 딘데 인자다 겸내 군주 숨라 겹서 주의 겸세 찍디를 했습니다.
And then we look at the benefit of going for refuge. One of the benefits, of course, is that by going for refuge in Buddhas and the 3 jewels, you are accepted as part of the Buddhist community. And refuge is like the entrance or the gate to a house. If we need to enter a house, we have to go through a gate. Likewise, to become a Buddhist follower, you have to take a refuge. And when the sutra is talking about the benefit of taking refuge, the first benefit they talk about is taking a refuge, you become Buddhist, you become a follower. And so we have a similar experience when we generate bodhicitta. When we make the pledge to become a Bodhisattva, and by really accepting the pledges, and then we have the determination to be one, and through this kind of precepts and the rituals, we become a Bodhisattva. Likewise, taking refuge is like a ritual to become a Buddhist. And if you do not take a refuge, then you cannot really say you are Buddhist.
어디내지다 딱 예수님 유동을 타러와라 딱 겸는 군주숨라 마도 레와 차서 매베 삼로 땅에 되는 마소 겸도 집에 가라 산지 초당 소지 초남 아 숨도 왔으니 산지 추 긴디 숨도 왔으니 산지에 숨에 가르스나 아니 미시비 균 탐제 상내로 미시비 미바 탐제 상내 아니 연대 탐제리 개와 남주 개와 로지 개와 되다 산지에서니 딱 이제 따고요서래 스네로 상라에 상기 상라에 게라에디 연대 탐제리 개와 로지 탐제리 개와 아니 다 이게 딱띵 사고의 시와이나 지다와의 진입이 최 탐제다 똑투비 남주리 개와 인자 개와 분들서래 스네로
So, with that advice in mind, that we wanted to go for refuge in Buddhas and Three Jewels, and by knowing that going into refuge to Buddhas and Three Jewels, you are saving yourself from being reborn in lower realms. And including the Niansun, the lower range, the three lower ranges. And so that's the benefit of the refuge. So when we say the refuge, we say Sangye Chuda Tog Chanamba. The Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha, I go refuge in you. We have the Buddha here. And so in Tibetan, Sangye, Buddha is the, Sangye has the true syllabus. Word for the Buddha. First one is the sun. It's like a purified, cleared, and the ge is fulfilled or possessed. So the first one word is sun, meaning you are totally clear of all the ignorance, the afflictions, and the obstacles. And so that's like the first word sun. That your mental stream is a kind of absolutely purified, no imprint of any self-grasping and any other afflictions contained. So that's the word sun, self sun. Ge is like a full or the possession, meaning you are possessing all the good qualities, having purified or cleared all these kind of afflictions and so on. And then on top of that, you have this, you possess all the good fortunes, the qualities and so on. And in the the latter syllabus, it also has you have possess all the most wonderful intelligence, the sharp faculties, knowing everything directly, like the direct realization. So Buddha having both purified at the same time possessing all the knowledge. So basically we're talking about the qualities of the Buddha.
샹다트즈나 출루 샤나라 군주 직모도 레스고레 다 남바상기로 군주 수명고도 김제 카레스 김제 카레는 되네 제스버레스 남바상기스 군주 숨라이디 유견라티니 추모바로 코나 칼로자 나서 직된 꼬바보나 제로 코나 담보니 랑중기 매와시 유견라티니 추모데 학부가 단달라 마도 군주 숨세네다 유견라티니 추모데 텔라티니 학부도 서레스니다 이나 카레스나 치타니파 캡수드디 탈라말라 캡수드 테네 상게 추 긴디디네 바르리기 도와세 주비론디 강고 추디 두고서 추라테네 긴디두 아니 긴디라테네 상게 두데 로 디네 있어요 코라 간자네 규디 키말라샤 로 추두발라테네 긴디체 긴디디 야야 컴퓨터 두발테네 상게 이코만다 유튜브가 인사 코라 추디 키말라샤고 전다디 있어요 니체 다 이나야 최치네시니 균디 두고디 아니 균디 라테네 상게 두고 아니 최데 당고 가르치는 마샤바레스나 단다 데스니디 상게 좀는데 코란 투줄라 총비 림바디 있어요 산지 준비돼 담보다 나도 나시 소소키고 정말로 상게 벌다 때네 최순 벌다 때네 아니 이게 뒤져도 대냠술 나발다 때네 견디 주바 인상 산지 준비돼 줄라 충분히 받대 인사 다 뭐만 맞아 냠술인데 담보 최 냠술래 대제가 견디도 차 견디다 칼레 야타 수수 유유 똑바디야 공부도 주고 오니 산지 공부 토바 인자 다 방임디 인사래 디 인지미제 냐고 사래 되면은 모두 추라 최치 섬도 준 링 말데 추라 때는 견디를 때는 산지 주고 온다
So why Buddhists have three jewels, not one? In other traditions, you have one God, one savior, and so on. Whereas we Buddhists have three jewels, and this is a very important concept because in Buddhist concept of the jewel, because we believe in cause and effect. And so again, we're emphasizing this process here. And for example, there are two, almost like a structure, from two structures. The one is from the experiential point of view. There's a structure of you have a Dharma, Sangha, and Buddha. And this is kind of a more experiential, through the experience. When we first we engage in Dharma, right? According to our experiential structure, we practice Dharma. As a result, we become member of the Sangha. Second, the refuge object, and then having practiced Dharma and made progress, we become Buddha ourselves. So this is actually, like from a practitioner point of view, how the process is. And you can also see a clear relationship between the three, cause and effect. Cause, the Dharma actually cause, one becomes Sangha, Sangha cause, one becomes Buddha. And then, from Buddha Shakyamuni's point of view, this is the first one for our practical purposes. The structure, the relationship between each, because I mentioned before that our three refuge objects are cause and effect related, Dharma, Sangha, Buddha. But then why we instead have the Buddha first, not the Dharma first? Because that we're looking at historical fact. Historical fact is that first Buddha attained enlightenment, right? Once Buddha fully attained enlightenment, he taught Dharma. And having taught Dharma, he created the Sangha. And so for us, without Buddha, there would not be a Dharma. So from our kind of followers' point of view, the cause and effect is first come Buddha to us. Through Buddha's, if you like, communication, we got in touch with the Dharma. So the cause and effect, Buddha caused Dharma, Dharma caused producing Sangha. Historical fact, more actually. And for that reason, as a Buddhist, we take refuge in Buddha first, and then through Buddha's kindness, we have been exposed to Dharma. We take refuge in Dharma. Thanks to Dharma, there's a lot of Sanghas who are helping us. And so that's how the Buddhist refuge, the object of the refuge is organized. And you can see clearly there is a cause and effect. As that's the principle of our practices, cause and effect. And that is clearly reflected, even read from the beginning in our refuge session.
lamdengi ta ye dikpa khare na la pa nyembo tene ani jubi yenden de la bogden sumre sen lamden di ta bodi yudo che yuda mare ina bogden la yuda yo mare ko takwa inza ina khorangi til yudo che rawa lamden di bodi gi teju che bogden di lamden gi tede o tenza de khatu drusuna ta chokun ju duware sen 아니 때 드루미 때 귤라디메 칸살라 니 균디 군저스니 민다그레 세니 니지 다 산게 체 균디 산게 초다 산게 초나 자주 산게 초다 균디 체 데네 장주 퍼도 다니 캡슐 체라에 됐다 다 캐나다 모델로 뛰어서 민도 다니 산지지 코 마토 버도 아니 캐나다에 거도 있는 다 캡슐 두비니 세니 세가니 바데다 장주 퍼도 다니 캡슐 체 세니 다 캡슐 조다니 숨 세니 다 캡슐 조단 데데라야 기부 중에 캡슐 조단 기부 딩기 캡슐 조단 기부 중에 캡슐 조단 숨 여비 나네 다 나도 단다 캡슐 버비 다 기부 중에 캡슐 조단이 인자 아니 식치만이 있단다 다지 진수 기비 다 디가 또 제시게 다지 진수 기비 선남지 돌아 펜저 상기 두버시오 식 치마 숨바데 시번이 보디다 셈게 숨을
So if you look at the page 1 that Geshe distributed last week, we have this refuge and then taking bodhicitta. So the first one, Sangye Che da Tro Chonnomra. To the excellent Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So I explained what is a Buddha, where we're taking refuge in Buddha, all the qualities of Buddha and so on. So that's the Sangha. And then the next, the object of refuge is the Chi, the Dharma here. The second one is the Dharma. So Dharma is the, when we talk about, the path, the Four Noble Truth, Dharma is both the path and also is the third noble truth, the noble truth of cessation. By entering in Dharma, actualizing the Dharma, we attain the path of cessation. It's through practicing Dharma we're able to really cease all the suffering, and that's where we have Dharma as a second. And so sometimes also in that, if you look at the cause and effect relationship, cause and result relationship, within the Dharma, you practice Dharma as a path. And as a result, you also attain the cessation. So in Dharma, the true noble truth is working kind of working orderly, but you cannot really say the cessation is caused by a path, because cessation is just is what you call state, and so that's the quality of the Dharma. And then the next one is the Sangha. Here also said the Dharma and the Sangha. Sangha is then the person who really practice Dharma and attain all the realizations, and that's how we define the Sangha. The Sanghas are the ones who are following the path of Dharma and progress in their spiritual realization. So the first part, the first, if you like, the line in this is taking the refuge part. And then if you look at the second line, I go for refuge until the attainment of enlightenment. And so saying, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, all these wonderful qualities you have, I wanted to follow you. I take a refuge until I'm fully enlightened. So we take a refuge, and they're saying, for how long? Until I attain full enlightenment, I go in refuge. So this is more like terms, more like talking about the terms of your refuge. And then the next two lines are the generating bodhicitta. So we take a refuge, a willful refuge, and then take bodhicitta precept. This is because we are engaging in Mahayana practices. So as part of the Mahayana practices, when you go for a refuge, and you check this called a Mahayana refuge, then people say, what is Mahayana refuge? Mahayana refuge is that you kind of attain the Buddhahood for sake of other beings. That's the most important. What is the Mahayana refuge? Comparing for others, you do so for the benefit of others, and this comes on the verse 4. The Mahayana refuge. So we maybe have a few minutes break. What time should we resume? Hector, you decide.
Let's resume a 10-minute break. So 1:45. Yeah, 8:45.
지금부터 슈트 되게 되게 싫었어요. 이따가 두고.
우리 점도지 그걸로 안 되는 거로 보시는.
네.
점도는
이 장도 되고요. 다들 경고를 움직이게 양수 송도. 장주는 아니 제시했다. 저기 약속